All the best tunes with you on your Vibe Drive. Right, up next, we have got, we're talking to Peter Taylor, the Mayor of Watford, who we speak to every Monday, and he always keeps us updated and informed on, exciting stuff like Watford Football Club opening their doors, and less riveting, but arguably just as important stuff about green bin collections. The green bin collections, Peter, are they up, running, and service is resumed?
That's right, yes, Benji. Good evening. So the green bin collections have continued throughout this crisis, and it's been, huge thanks to our crews who do a brilliant job collecting our rubbish every day from Veolia and the council. So they've done a brilliant job keeping that service going.
Now, obviously, we're quite a few weeks into lockdown now. People anecdotally are seeing a few more cars on the road, a few more people on the streets. I sense there's a little bit of a frustration that some people may not be respecting the rules as much as others. Is that something you've seen, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. Anecdotally, it does seem to be getting a bit busier, and this is a really crucial time now that people continue to follow the NHS guidance. Sadly, we see deaths every day at Watford General, in local care homes. And it's really important that we all take our, responsibility seriously, that you might be someone who's young and fit and healthy and think, well, why does it matter? The more you go out and the more you mix with other people, the more the virus spreads and lives are lost. And so I think the next 2 weeks are going to be really critical. And you're right, many people are getting a bit fed up of constantly being at home, and it is quite a difficult thing to do, but it's really important we follow the NHS advice and stay at home as much as we can.
Well, there's rain on the way this week, so you betcha there won't be as many people on the streets. Not with,
That's right.
Not with brollies, I can tell you. Now, this, we've seen the death toll, the kind of horrific death toll, the eye-opening death toll. And we know that in some instances care homes are not included. How do you feel about care homes in Watford? How do you feel they're coping overall?
Yeah, so we did see, there was a really sad case in the Watford Observer last week about a care home in Watford, and, we were concerned about that. Watford Council phoned every single care home in the town over the last few days, made sure they've got all the help that they need, and anyone that raised any issues, we were able to offer them support. So I think it's really important. We often forget, I think, sometimes about the carers that work in care homes and the brilliant job that they do. And it's really important that they've got the PPE and all the advice and support that they need. So, we, as I say, we've called all of them. There were no major concerns about the way that any of them are operating. But this virus is really, people that are old and have an underlying health condition are really vulnerable to it, and so it's important we do everything we can to help them.
PPE, three letters rather, I think neither of us will ever forget. Simple question though, have we got enough of it?
We have got enough of it. As I say, I've raised that as well with our hospital and about their supplies. They've got good supplies of PPE, and there's a lot of work going on coordinating that. Anybody who either wants to volunteer because they're making PPE, or if they need PPE, if they email me, the mayor at watford.gov.uk, and I can put them in touch with the people coordinating that.
The mayor at watford.co.uk, that's a pretty coveted email address, isn't it? It's got to be. You have to relinquish it though when the next mayor goes in.
It was an address that I inherited, and one that I'll pass on, I'm sure, when I finish doing that.
What was my last question? Have we started making plans for coming out of lockdown?
We have, so there's lots of work going on for that. So working with businesses, for example, I think that a lot of things won't go back to how they were, 6 months ago. We've got to be realistic about that, but making sure our town continues to grow and is successful is really important. So there's a lot of work going on. I'm going to be working with local businesses, local business leaders to make sure that's a success. I think the other thing to remember is supporting people, and, there's a human impact in all of this. We're doing loads of work together with Watford Together, and if anyone listening's not liked the Facebook page, I'd encourage you to do that. And there's loads on there, community events that are shared. The weekly quiz that I do with Lisa Blissett every Sunday evening is raising lots of money for local charities. So there's lots going on to make sure that we can come out of this even stronger.
I'll have to get involved in that quiz, though. I can't guarantee I've got much general knowledge knack. Have you heard about the virtual Eurovision style competition happening with the Pump House?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be one of the juries.
So am I.
I'm looking forward to it, Benji. It's going to be very good.
I'm practicing my 12 points and 0 points.
But the quiz we had last night, we did actually talk about Eurovision because the halftime entertainment was the highlight of the show. We had Electric Umbrella on. They did the music round, and we also have Mark Bonner, who's appeared in lots of things, including Quiz, this programme about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
We've talked about it a lot on my show. Yeah, there we go.
So it's good to have him on.
Right, next stop, Sir Elton John, former chairman of Watford. I'll send him a quick text. All right,
if you
Peter.
Text him, I appreciate it.
Great to speak to you, Peter.